Okay. Disappointed, kind of a little bit of deja vu from 2 weeks ago. Our guys played extremely hard. They played physical. I'm proud of them. Early in the game, we had our opportunities to get some momentum. We didn't do it. Very similar. We take the opening drive down the field, looking pretty good. We have a 3rd and 1 at like the 5, I think, or 6. And if we just hand the ball off, I think we for sure got the first down. We might have scored on that play. We didn't. So we have to settle for a field goal, and that stuff matters in games like this. Then 7-3, I think. And we get another drive rolling, running the football really well. We have a 3rd and 1. I mean, we're going to get about 8 or 10, and Kamar slips and falls down. Now we're 4th and 2, don't convert. Those were 2 really critical errors by us offensively early in the game that kept us from getting some momentum and maybe even grabbing the lead. We fought back, defense hung in there, made it 14-10 at the half, and we just didn't come out in the 3rd quarter with the execution we needed. We got behind, guys kept battling, but you can't do that on these kind of games on the road if we want to win. I mean, our kids played hard. They fought their butts off. Our staff had a great plan. I've got to do a better job. This one's on me. I've got to find a way to get us in position to break through in these kind of games because we expect to win them.
That first 3rd and 1 you mentioned, is that an option for the
call? Everything we do is, and in our quarter, Preston knows it's 3rd and 1. We're rolling, we're running the ball. He looks up and there's 2 guys out there. Most of the time that makes sense, but hey, if it's 1st and 10, 2nd meet, whatever, sure. It's 3rd and 1, and the guy gambled and jumped it, so he couldn't throw it, and then we take a -1. And we had such a good drive. I felt like we needed something there, even though field goals aren't going to win a game like this. Normally I'd go for it, but those are the little things that decide games like this. There's 4 or 5 of those in the first half, and maybe we're ahead at half. So, and then in the second half, give them credit. 3rd quarter, they went down, kicked the field goal. We went 3 and out. They went down. Defense held them twice to field goals, which was great. At some point, we got to break through and get on the board and respond and answer quickly.
How tough was that 3rd quarter where held them to field goals, but it was long? The defense was out there a lot.
Yeah, that hurt. I think in the first half, we did a good job of having long drives, so it was kind of back and forth. They did have a long drive. We did hold them to a field goal. Then we go 3 and out. Then they have another long drive, field goal. We moved it. I think that's the one. I don't know if we threw a pick on that drive or not. We moved it a little bit. And look, that's the deal. Offensively, we're not playing bad, but we're not playing good. And we're moving the football on just about anybody we play. We're 2 teams that are going to contend to win the Big 12 and have really good defenses, as you've seen. But you can't win scoring 17 points, and you can't win if you can only play between the 20 and 25-yard lines. And so, if we're not explosive, we got to find a way to finish those drives if we want the results to be different.
Held TCU to just 26 rushing yards at halftime. What do you think was the biggest difference where they were just able to establish that in the 3rd quarter?
Yeah, I don't know. Without watching the film to see from a schematic standpoint, obviously we did a really good job in the first half of stopping the run. And in the second half, they got a lot more momentum running the football. And that hurt. That's why they were able to stay on the field longer. And so, it's hard when, just like we do, there's the run-pass options. And, they just credit them. They were able to win the line of scrimmage in the second half better than they did in the first half. And I don't know if they wore us down or if they just executed better. I'll have to see. But obviously that was a big reason why I think they dominated in the 3rd quarter.
You rotated Logan Parr and Preston Osborne. Was Logan limited in any way, or was it by design to get both of them success?
Logan was not, in theory, he wasn't limited, but he struggled with just kind of some asthma stuff. And so for him to play a full game in this heat, we knew it was going to be a challenge. So we felt like if we rotated, he would be able to play the whole game instead of play a half and then be out. We weren't really sure if J.O. would be able to go at all, but he wanted to play. And give him credit for probably gutting it out when he was probably like 60, 70%. But I don't know if we could have kept him off the field, so we didn't.
5 of 15 on 3rd downs. What did they do to make it difficult?
Well, I think the first 3 or 4 drives, we were early on, we were like 3 of 5 or something. We were in 3rd and medium or less a lot. And a couple of those drives, maybe late in the half, but definitely in the 3rd quarter, we're in 3rd and 10. We had a holding penalty put us in like a 3rd and 15 or 20. it's hard. It's hard when they can rush 3 and drop 8, and they cover well. So if your third downs are 6 or 7 or less, you're going to have a better rate. Looks like both teams were average. We were 5 of 15. They were 6 of 15. Like I said, the 2 critical fourth downs we didn't get. One, we kind of botched it on third down. Credit them on running through on the fourth down, and then the other one, we gotta throw the ball quicker. We had RJ open for a minute and missed him. So.
And then the 3 timeouts in the first half was
the first one was. I was kind of in between going for it and not. Sometimes you have the emotion of knowing if we just hand the ball off, we got a first and goal or maybe a touchdown. And I wasn't sure I loved the look for the play we had called, and kind of just wanted to gather ourselves. In the first half, that's okay. The other 2 are bad on our part. We had a guy, I think, injured on a special teams, and he was getting treatment at the 10 or something and didn't know we were punting, so we ran him out there late, and the play clock was running down, and the last thing you want to do on a backed up punt is have a miscommunication. So burned one there, but that's on us. And the other one, they're like us, they play with tempo, and we felt like we weren't in the call we wanted to be in. I don't remember if it was a third or fourth down, but or second down, I don't even know. We did not like the call we were in on defense. And again, in the first half, you're quicker to burn those. You don't want to, but it's a little different than in the second half. And I think we ended up holding them, but I don't remember on that drive. Maybe not. But we didn't like the call we were in defensively. So 2 of them really didn't need to be burned. So we'll be better there.
You mentioned the similar stuff to 2 weeks ago at OU. Obviously playing 2 Big 12 programs in a rivalry game. Just how much more disappointed is it that you didn't have it corrected?
What happened at OU?
You said kind of the same script from the beginning of the game. Is that what you're talking about a couple weeks ago?
Yeah. Are you asking in regards to timeouts and stuff?
No.
Yeah, I just was referring to we took the opening drive down at OU.
Yeah, exactly.
We had a third down around the 10. Felt like we got OPI or DPI. They didn't call it. We had to kick a field goal. Today, same deal. Like that first drive, man, it's just so different when you break through and score a touchdown. The momentum it gives you versus a field goal. And then what I really meant was, we moved the ball up and down the field, up and down. We ran it well. We protected him well. We took, the 2 picks were on third and longs when we're down, and it's a little bit kind of you have to force the issue. And so it's not like you're going out going 3 and out, getting stuffed. We're moving the ball up and down the field against good teams and good defenses, and we're not finishing the drives. And that's what I meant on the frustration.
So yeah, is it more disappointing, more frustrating because it was kind of the same formula that got you the last couple weeks ago?
It's still really just disappointing and frustrating because we played 2, in my opinion, top 20, top 25 teams on the road. One played for the title last year. The other, they're both going to contend for their league. And we were right in there with them, and we feel like we belong, but we didn't prove it. We didn't finish. We didn't sustain it. So it would be just as disappointed if it never happened. It's a fair question. It's disappointing either way, because if we want to be the team we want to be and win these type of games, we got to find a way to not let that happen.
The depth at receiver is good. You guys utilized it again. But would you like to maybe have a go-to guy where in some critical situations you really felt like he was a guy that could go out and make the play, and that he was maybe that Rashid type guy from a year ago?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I'm just trying to think off the top of my head of a guy, not coming through today on a play. There's not one that stands out. And it's the catch-22. You keep guys fresh. You play a lot of guys, or you play very few guys, and they get all the targets. And, this is the first time I've ever had this many guys who you can depend on, and I think they're doing a good job. But it's a fair question. Do you get guys in a rhythm? Do you get consistency? And, we're going to keep playing those guys. It may play its way out here as we get into conference, but we'll go back and look at it and see. It's a fair question.
And then on defense, you guys played pretty well spurts against high-tempo Big 12 offenses in TCU and Oklahoma. Does that give you a greater sense of promise maybe in previous years going into AAC play with that unit?
I think so. I mean, the way it works out, our first 4 games are non-conference games. They all matter. When I say like kind of the preseason or the pre-conference stuff is over, that doesn't mean those 4 games aren't just as important. They are. But everything that's still in front of us, all the goals we had to start the season in terms of trying to compete for our conference and put ourselves in position to be in contention is still there. It gives you confidence, but we expected to compete in these games. So we've got to find a way to pick ourselves up, and we got a home conference opener next week, and we really need to get to 1-0 before the bye week in the league. I love this team. I believe in this team. If this team will stay together, I think we got a chance to still do something special, and it's going to be hard. As far as our program goes, we did. We played 2 really good Big 12 opponents on the road, but we expect to belong in those atmospheres, and nothing has happened that makes me think our future is not extremely really bright here. But we got to live in the present. Right now, we got to find a way to pick ourselves up and get to 1-0 in the league and try to still accomplish what we set out to do this year.
What did you think of Preston and Kamar, just their individual performances?
I thought we ran the ball well. I thought we did a good job up front at tight end. I thought Kamar ran well. I thought Jalen ran well. I thought even Tyler got in there and did what Tyler does and is productive and reliable. LJ wasn't able to go, and we didn't think he would be. So, in terms of Preston, he competed. He was good. He missed a few throws. The first pick, 3rd and forever, if you're not down 17, you probably call a different play, but when you're down 17, you got to try to force it a little bit, and ball got tipped up and they made a pick, and the worst part was we let him run all the way back to the 9. We did hold him to a field goal there. And then the last one, it was a heck of a play by their kid. We had him one-on-one corner out. I didn't think it was a bad throw or decision. Kid just made a great play. But overall, I don't know. We'll look at it. I'm not going to say he played great. No, we didn't win. But he competed just like the first 3 games. I never felt anything different than he was locked in. He had a good look in his eye, and he's like everybody else. He's really disappointed. Losing's disappointing. Unfortunately, it's part of life. So we got to find a way to respond. I believe this team will, but that's our challenge this week: respond, get to 1-0.
Would you look, now that you have 4 games worth of film and all of the stuff that you can look at, do you look at play calling situations that might be better for Preston or better for the run game? How do you evaluate?
Yeah.
And you're going into conference, so you don't want to drop the baby with the bathwater, but how do you approach some of the play calling stuff?
Yeah, I'm sure there's some things I can do a lot better. Obviously, we're not putting the points on the board that we need to in these games. So I believe in our guys. I don't think we're very far off. If we were far off, we wouldn't be competing. We wouldn't be moving the ball the way we are. I felt like our offensive staff had a great plan. So I felt like our defensive staff had a great plan. So I've got to find a way to push the right buttons, put us in position to overcome kind of the things that are stalling us right now. But we're not going to panic. There's no reason to. We're a good football team. We've competed. We haven't won. That's not good enough for us. But we don't have to go back to the drawing board. We just got to tighten some things up and find a way to win this week.
We good?
Thanks, guys.